dress?
Joker. Yeah, I do.
Did you shoot my partner, Miguel? Do what? What'd I do?
Said, did you shoot my partner?
Get out of the room, Sandeford.
What are you doing here? Ask them what I'm doing here.
Marvin! Marvin! Did you Marvin, get off of him! Get off of him! Are you okay? Are you all right?
I didn't shoot nobody.
All right. You all right?
Tell him I didn't shoot nobody.
Okay.
Bentley opened his eyes.
You've been in a lot of stuff that I like, so it's a pleasure to speak with you.
Great, man. Thank you.
No problem. First question, what originally made you interested in portraying Marvin Sandeford?
Well, you know, I played a lot of cops, and
Right.
I had run my course in playing cops, and these producers and I were both more interested in my character's priority being his humanity and not his job, and so that was the catch right there, you know, and to work with the people that when I spoke to them, you know, understood that they were not afraid to explore and share the humanity of a person of color. And so more than one, you know, so I was like, hey, that's what I'm talking about. So I don't have to play a fragment of who I am, but be a complete human being.
Okay, makes sense. It actually leads into the next question. What makes East New York different from other cop shows? You kind of touched on it just now.
Because, you know, it's under the guise of a cop show, but it actually is a show about human beings navigating their jobs and their place in this big city of New York, particularly East New York. So we're more interested in the human beings, not the uniform. So that makes this different. You know, we actually go home and find out that they all are funny, that they all are lovers, that they all are fragile, that they all are powerful, you know, and they all have vulnerabilities.
I agree. I like that. Talk a bit about the cast. What do you enjoy working most of? What do you enjoy most working with them?
Well, the depth of the actors, the process, you know, these are actors who majority of them, the great majority of them are theater actors. So they have a process that's very similar to mine. We're not so interested in the moment that we're in, but what led to that moment, the life before the moment. And so that makes it much more interesting that we come in it into each scene with a full breadth of life. You know, opposed to just, okay, instantly you're my enemy, instantly you're my friend, instantly I like you or don't like you. No, we talk about it before we do a scene. When was the last time we were together? Have we ever been, how long we worked together? You know, all kind of things. And then the writers end up putting it in the script. They sit there and they listen sometimes and say, oh.
That's real cool.
Got a minute to talk, Chief? Sure. How are you doing, Marvin?
Good. I think maybe I left you with the wrong impression in the immediate aftermath of collaring my partner shooter.
You definitely left me with an impression. I don't know that it was wrong.
It was emotion. My head was all twisted. Kept reliving the gunshots and seeing that kid go down.
You're lucky you didn't kill anybody, Marvin. Given your state of mind, that could have easily been the case.
You know, all due respect, Chief, it wasn't luck. I took pains in making sure that didn't happen.
Well, I thought you said your head was all twisted. Which is it?
I know it's up to the first step, but I also know you carry a lot of weight with him. Can you give me a clue to what's likely to happen?
As of right now, you're on modified duty. How long for? To be determined. Whether anything happens beyond that, to be determined.
I hope they're gonna let me keep on being a cop, Chief. I don't know how to do nothing else.
This season is heating up now. You know, we at the halfway point. Will we get to see more of the backstories of some of the characters later in the season?
Absolutely. I think that's what makes this show special, that we get to follow each character home, or at least we take you out of just hanging with them on their job, and we let you hang with them when their heart is being revealed, not just their authority being revealed. And with people of color on TV, it's usually authority or anger. So we go beyond authority and anger. We go to sentimentality, humanity, sensitivity, humor. These things are what make characters, I guess, complete and whole and incredibly interesting.
Very true. What's the biggest reward you get from being a part of this series? Because you've been a part of so many television, movie things. What is special about this show?
Well, this is the first time that I've ever been able to show that I love hard. I've been able to be hard. I've been able to boss hard. I've been able to be hard as an angry person, but I've never been able to love hard, to actually show that there is a thing called pain that I can reveal. There's a thing called joy that I can reveal. And that limitation has been thrust upon not just me, but most actors of color on their shows, because we're cogs in the machine in a way that we keep the thing flowing, but we never find out when we're the flow. And in this particular show, I'm the flow sometimes. If you saw Sunday's show, I was the flow. If you see, even up to the end, what happens in the end, the whole show hinges on my depth and humanity and creativity. And also, rarely do you see a black man love a black man that hard on TV in whatever capacity, whether it's your son, your lover, your brother, your neighbor, mentee. Rarely do you get to see a black man love another black man, and in the episode that aired Sunday, you saw that I love this boy, and that's beautiful, man. I mean, it took me 40 years to get to that point for somebody to not be afraid to see that part of me as a human being. Right. But hopefully it's an example for other people to say, we're real and we're whole and we're absolutely beautiful and incredible, so let us go.
You know it. I love that. And then you've already done it with your answers, but in a nutshell, you got to tell our viewers why they need to be tuned in to East New York on Sundays on CBS.
We need to have everybody's eyes and ears and hearts with us on Sundays at 9 p.m. right after the Equalizer. Hit the Equalizer and just slide right on into East New York, because it's a moment that's rare in the history of our country, in the history of television. You have two extraordinarily intelligent, powerful, courageous black women central in the plot of these shows. Of course, we're surrounded, particularly in our show, Amanda is surrounded by all these equals, and even in Equalizer, you got Lorraine Toussaint, you got some wonderful characters in there. So to see the glory, in a way, of us, because rarely have producers or television not been afraid of the depth. How monumental our hearts, and I say monumental because we're huge, man, inside. And in this world that we traverse, we don't get to show that vastness of who we are inside. The world is always interested in externally. Oh, there's a black man and he's this or he's that, and the label ends right there. In these shows, particularly Equalizer and East New York, particularly the one that I'm in, we get to explore the monumental aspect of who we are in our hearts, who we are in our intellect, and that's deep. I'm scared, man, because I ain't never had it like this. I'm scared. I'm like, y'all gonna stop? Y'all gonna keep giving me the filet mignon and not the little, just, the rib tips? You gonna give me the meat? You're gonna let me really, and then to watch, these actors who I've known for a long time. Jimmy Smits and I, he played my father in Lackawanna Blues. Jimmy Smits and I and Halle Berry did Solomon and Sheba, the first Bible movie starring black people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we go back, and I walk up there, I see Jimmy, I know I'm safe.
There you go.
And it's just wonderful, man. It's just good to be able to share this.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great show. Switching gears real quick, but it may come back to this. You, again, as I said, you're a vet in this industry. What's been one of your most rewarding roles?
Well, all my most rewarding roles have been on stage. I just have to admit it, because that's the only place that I have been allowed to be whole. And until this show, I've shown stuff already in this show I've never shown on TV. And I've done 28 TV pilots. I have done 75 guest stars. I have done, 44 films. I've never shown this part of me.
Wow.
And so, but on stage, I do it all the time. I did it in 7 Guitars. I did it in Stick Fly. I did it in Gem of the Ocean. I did it in Raisin in the Sun. You know, I did it in one of the 100 plays that I performed in, but never on television. And here it is at this age, you know. So I guess I've earned this, and God bless me with you know, just be patient, young man. You'll get your shot. And I've worked. I've been blessed. I've worked for, you know, 40-some years. I've been in New York for 40 years. And before New York, I was working in Detroit, you know. So it was like, but I haven't worked in TV like this. I've had some good roles, man. And if I had some, Rube's a good actor. He's gonna give us critical acclaim, so hire Rube. You know, people know he's in it. He ain't gonna take no shit. It's gonna be, he's gonna bring you his best every time. Yeah, that's me. But do you actually dig into the mountain that is my heart and mine the best of me? No, you accept this much. You accept that much of me, and that's enough. I can make a living in Hollywood with this much of me.
Gotcha.
But not on stage. I got to be all of me. And you know, sometimes I share so much on stage that it hurts. You know, but it hurts so good. You know, I just, you know, what somebody had a song say, it hurts so good. It hurts so good because it felt good getting that off, releasing that. And now on this TV show, it looks like they hitting in that way, man. They had something last Sunday. I couldn't even breathe when I was watching. I was like, oh, that was real. I mean, I had to tell the director after about so many takes, I said, I can't get my heart broken no more because I'm putting my heart in each one of these scenes, and each one of these scenes, it gets broken. So if you don't have it now, we in trouble, because I don't want to start faking it. I want to keep my heart being broke, but it only can be broken so many times. Because I'm going to do it real, man. I'm going to be real.
The authenticity of it all. So yeah, it's like a full circle for you from stage to TV. So that's perfect. And you pretty much said out of the roles, this one's kind of has been your ideal role, but what would be your ideal role outside of this particular series?
My ideal role would be sitting in the director's chair on a movie. That's the only thing I haven't done. I've done everything else. I've done everything I've ever dreamed of, and stuff that I didn't even dream of. Because, you know, they say your footsteps are ordered. You know, I didn't know this was going to happen. I just wanted to act.
Right.
And the thing that more than that, I wanted to be the best that I could be. I don't know if I would be the best that did it. I would know I would be the best me. And I would never half step, as my mother used to say. When I told him I'm gonna dedicate my life and my career to this, my mama said, just don't half step. She said, you're gonna be great, but don't half step, go all the way in. And I said, okay, mama. And I never, and every time I walk into the world, I walk in not to disappoint her. You know, I told her that's the way I'm gonna go, and that's the way I go. That's why when I say, when you see me do a role, whether it's the good guy, bad guy, whether it's a bad guy in Shaft, I'm bad. When you see me vulnerable, I'm vulnerable. When you see me hurting, I'm hurting. When I laugh, that's real laughter, just like you just laughed. When I laugh, it's laughter. I ain't got to start thinking of a joke somebody told 40 years ago. I ain't thinking about Richard Pryor or something. I'm laughing. And that's the only way to be, you know, and I try to teach that to the students that I train.
Okay. Nice. Where do you train? I mean, I'm just interested in that for our viewers. I'm sure they want to know. I
have a Black Arts Institute that I teach 5 weeks a year, along with Felicia Rashad and Stephen McKinley Henderson and Michelle Shea. And we teach 5 weeks in the summer, and we teach 1 week, 2 weeks in the winter. And it's called the Black Arts Institute because what we're trying to do is remind, teach, tell young actors, and they're not, when I say young, I'm talking about 40 on down. I think the youngest we've had is 18, that, you know, we're enough. We're enough. You know, quit trying to fit into somebody else's comfort. Be comfortable in exactly who you are. I mean, even with my career, with my degrees, and I have a few, you know, I don't put on airs. I'm still that young fella that was raised in a rooming house in Lackawanna, New York. I'm still that little boy. I'm still that little country boy, what they call up south. Lackawanna's called Up South because everybody came from Alabama, Florida, Tennessee to Lackawanna to work the steel plants. So everybody there was country. If you go to the bar, Monday night was Alabama night, Tuesday night was Tennessee night, Wednesday night was Virginia night. If you're from Virginia, you get a drink for half price. You know, because everybody came up. And so the lessons I learned from people from the South who were colored when they was down South and came north and stayed colored. And so I put on no airs. I mean, and I've lectured at every university in this country, from Harvard to Howard, you know, so, but this is who it is, you know.
It works, it's perfect. What's next for you?
Oh, I'm developing 4 projects, theater. When I say developing, it's usually theater. The next one up is called Destiny of Desire. It's built and based on Mexican telenovelas. But it has so much humor, it's so profound, so much pain, so much poetry. It's by a writer named Karen Zacarias. She's a Mexican-American writer. We will premiere it in San Diego in May at the Old Globe Theater. Destiny of Desire in May to June at the Old Globe, and then we'll be coming to Broadway. Also, I have a very exciting piece with Charles Randolph Wright, who is writing, and I'm directing a play on Sidney Poitier's life. That will be going to Broadway. Also have an adaptation of Car Wash, the musical.
Oh, really?
I'm doing. And finally, I have an incredible play musical called The 10, based on the 10 Commandments in a modern day atmosphere. So Moses is actually a woman, a young sister out of Chicago. So in this play, it's a musical, which I am collaborating with an incredible writer, sister named Nambi Kelly, great composers out of London called Future Cut.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be something, but that's out of the 4, the first one up, Destiny of Desire, May, San Diego.
Definitely looking forward. All them projects sound lit, so yeah. I'll be looking
Well, that's,
forward.
you know, I'm trying to work my way into my, you know, pipe and big dog and fishing pole. You know, I'm working my way into. Let me see, what's the things I want to get done in this next 10 years of my life.
You're gonna do it. Well, is there anything else you want to share or leave with your fans, our viewers, before we wrap up?
Not really, man. First, more than anything, I want to say how grateful I am that people have followed my career, including you and the people who have invested your time and attention and your platform in promoting our work. You know, so thank you, and thank you to the fans. That's about it.
Definitely our pleasure. We all about promoting Black excellence, and you are definitely that. So again, thank you for taking time out speaking with us. Continued success and blessings, and you have a great day, man.
You too, and I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
In this world here, you can get it.
He asked for a lawyer.
We're gonna let him call a lawyer at some point.
As long as I'm your boss, you let him go.
Just like that.
Just like that.
My hustle got my swag.
I help you out when I have to go into that project and save your ass.
The day I need you to save me is the day I put in my papers.
The purpose of the initiative isn't career advancement. It's to show the people we're a part of the same community they're a part of.
I grew up in Section 8 housing with a drug addict mother.
So now, I'm only too happy to be a part of whatever community will have me.
Thank you, Officer Quinlan.
I made it in this city. I can survive anywhere.
Together, we are going to stem violence in East New York.
Just so your stats are good, Inspector.
I'm going to ask a great deal of every one of you.
How come you're not in school? Starts at 11. It does not start at 11. Yo, yeah, it do. Pass me the ball.
And I want you to know, if you do your job the way it is meant to be done, I got your bags.
You might want to ease into all of
No,
that.
I don't have that luxury. Whatever it is that I want to get done, I've got to do it fast.
Welcome to East New York.
But you gotta love this city.